All right, here we go. Yeah, just ignore all my typos. It's fine. Okay, great. It was underlying. Just notice things stopped working right. I feel like it was hard to breathe. I feel like it was something underlying. I feel like it was sudden. I feel like it was sudden unexpectedly. I feel like I was at home. She's like, I had no idea. She looked at me very clearly. She just said, I had no idea. Cosmo, I love you guys. Oh, even though I'm recording, so sorry. Does Cosmo have a dad? I could have sworn I heard, like, because he always talks about you going to the store. Like, I know we have Cindy. I know it's weird. I'm not trying to do this during her reading, but I'm just so curious. Okay, Cosmo doesn't have a dad. Fine. Okay, I'm not trying to start nothing. Okay, cool. Back here. Bummer Bones says Jan. She goes, yeah, she was at home. Okay, and then she goes, essentially like a decline, but there's no reeling it in. She gives me the analogy of she's casting a fishing pole and it's like, and it's still going, and I'm like, well, dang. Male that served that had a hard time walking, or our legs started tingling and just wouldn't allow us to get around much anymore. Okay, so mom says that this is underlying in some way. I feel like it's really unexpectedly. I'm questioning. I don't know what you said. Oh my God, yes, too. Maybe the male over here on the other side, but I really feel like she didn't expect it, but then I almost take partial responsibility. Let's say situational, or like maybe not catching it in time. I got a really brief sign and symbol that somebody finds her. Affects her breathing. Something underlying at home. Situational. Unexpected. I don't think it was intentional. Man, I forgot what I was saying when I was talking about the fishing pole. Sending it and just keep sending it and just keep sending it and just keep sending it. And I'm like, oh, it's really far out there. Maybe get an inch, take a mile thing? Does that make sense to you, Miss Bummerbones? Kelsey, you are more than welcome to ask. How did she end up passing? And who is also this guy to you? Oh, there was no reeling it in. That's right. Okay, good. As long as my followers are sitting here remembering what it is that I'm... Oh, yeah, there's no reeling it back. See, I'm kind of caught between... Like, maybe she's at home. Maybe we don't expect anything she passes from. Like, we have no idea. And then someone finds her or, like, stumbles. Like, maybe she's taking a nap and we stumble upon it. Or, like, maybe she looks peaceful. We find her on the floor, sprawled out, whatever. We don't think much of it. And then we realize that she's gone. And then she makes me feel like a multitude of conditions contributed. Okay, and then she makes me feel like, let's say let's say we feel like we didn't go to the doctor in time, or we feel like we've contributed to it, or kind of like held ourselves back, or put ourselves into something in some way, or like something was out of our control. There's no reeling it in. It's almost like, or maybe it's too far to even be brought in. Maybe it's out of our control. Maybe we didn't go soon enough. A home health nurse found her. So she was literally at home. A home health nurse ended up finding her. Sorry, I didn't have this in view at all. Have a blessed one to you as well. So we ignored advice. Why are you taking responsibility too? What? So like, okay, what do you mean we ignored advice? For what? So there's the partial responsibility, but I'm not letting you take responsibility with her till I figure out what advice that we ignored, because there does seem to be a stubbornness. Oh, but there were no reeling it in seems really important here. She had an infection that we went to the derm doctor for. And they gave her cream, and what, she just didn't use it? But it was way too far along. There was no reeling it in. What the fuck is cream gonna do? Whoa. She goes, honestly, Kato, it was probably more than that because I was disoriented. I was like, okay, cool, cream. And then you get home and you're like, am I supposed to eat it? But it was way too far along. Yeah, there's no reeling it in. Listen, like, she was confused at the end big time. Yeah, disoriented, unsure. What's she gonna do? Need, like, oh, I gotta have pills. Doctor says this is what you need. Hey, something's wrong on the inside of my body. Doctor's like, here's a cream. We ignored advice. Oh my gosh. And listen, we even talk about it being so far gone. There's no reeling it back in. And they gave her a cream. So the advice you ignored, what was it? To get a second opinion? Or was the advice saying, fuck it, we're not using the cream? Was the not taking the advice like, how am I supposed to eat this? Because that's what it sounds like. This has been the best readings from anyone I've ever seen on TikTok. Well, thank you. I'm pretty good at what I do. I love it. It's because I actually talk to them. Surprise. Surprise! It was supposed to follow up. You were supposed to follow up from the cream, so we used the cream and we were supposed to follow up. Yeah, it sounds like, and I'm not a doctor and I'm not saying any doctor did it wrong, it just sounds like it was really out of control. We knew that she needed more than a cream. She said, honestly, I was feeling really hopeless at the end and tired. She goes, and it wasn't the cream or the infection that did anything to me. She goes, if anything, going back and forth from the doctor kept making me sicker. Did she go septic because the infection causes confusion? Yeah. And then they gave her cream. And then they gave her some cream. They're like, just put on this. Just put this on a little bit. Had heart disease, diabetes, was on dialysis, and they're like, here's some cream. So what I want you to do is stop saying we ignored advice. That's what I would love. Like, pretty much the only thing you said to me was, we ignored sound advice. What the fuck? No, you didn't. You know, you did. I was filling out her claim for 2 years to the day that my dad died too. Damn. Oh, wait! This guy that we were just talking to? Huh? Is that him? This rando that just popped on in here like he owned the damn place right next to Mom? Probably. Okay. Hope so. Well, how'd he end up passing? I'm trying to, like, look into it really quick. He said, all at once almost seems like an accident. I like Nikki better. It's funner. It's our new self. Okay, so apparently, hopefully you don't develop any fear of going to the doctor. Bummer Bones, blah, blah, blah. You're just asking for it with that username. You just mix up a couple letters and you're Bummer Boner every time. Dang. Okay, so, I just can't with myself sometimes. Okay, I forgot what I was going to say. Okay, so Bummer Bones said that he actually had a colonoscopy earlier in the day. Okay, so wait, we don't know how Dad ends up passing. He has a colonoscopy earlier in the day, and basically what he shows me is that everything was going great until we hit a wall. Okay. And then before, he tells me he's always on the go. He either served or had an of-service personality. He was like a man that's made for a honey-do list, and you know the type, don't lie to me, okay? Then he said he had a difficult time walking, but if he just had a colonoscopy earlier that morning, and then he says, well, hit a wall, does he go take a nap? He either drops where he stands or he takes a nap and declines. Trying to ask him. He was trying to take a nap. Did they give him, listen, I don't know what the procedure is for a colonoscopy. Obviously, I've only gotten like 7 of them in my whole life. What medicine do they give you before you do that? He was asleep in his recliner. Something, it's like the nerves. Like, I keep thinking about when I had a baby, they give me an epidural, and that's what stopped my heart. That's how I died during labor, was my epidural. It stopped my heart. Yeah, that's what I feel too, Randa. He had a pill bottle in his hand. What the hell? For what? What kind of pills? Wait, I just said what kind of medicine did he have? What kind of medicine did he have in his hand? Something for his nerves. Something for his nerves. So he's always had abdomen pain. He gets home from a colonoscopy, which they put medicine in your body, okay? They put sedatives or they sedate you. They put you under to some degree. He's coming off that from a colonoscopy because in my head, I'm like, I just don't feel that the colonoscopy did it. Maybe it hit a nerve on the way out. And I'm like, what medicines? He's talking about specifically what medicines we are using around this colonoscopy. Something having its own reaction. He has this colonoscopy. Everything is seemingly fine. But when they found him dead in his chair, when her brother did, just later that day, he had a bottle of pain meds in his hand. Most likely, I mean, I'm not a doctor, but I'm just talking to the dead person. Most likely, he took those, which is a routine thing, too close to when his body had these other medicines in it, and could have potentially had a reaction. Of course, he may have always had abdominal pain, but we don't know how that medicine's going to react to, and your body's tired, all of the above, you know? And then your own meds, and maybe the doctor didn't know about it because you're doing it on your own time, which makes sense, and it's totally normal for a normal person to do that, and obviously it wasn't something that was on purpose. Whoa, he's good. Whoa, he's good. I love it. Mom's fine, Dad's fine. See? And you've been waiting for your reading since like noon today. Minimum 1:30. And then here we are. He never got to walk you down the aisle. Look at it. He talks about walking. He goes, I haven't missed out on anything. He goes, He gives a little grumbly, like, don't even. Like he doesn't want to hear about it. Oh, I don't want to. He shushes you fast. He goes, I was there for everything. And he knows about your kids. I don't know if you have any kids yet, but I think you're supposed to have 2 in this lifetime. And he knows about both of them. Well, obviously you're meant to be a great mother. And then gets real sweet. Aw, disgusting. Everyone getting so sweet. You have 2 stepkids. You want to have any of your own babies? Because might happen. You're so very welcome. You don't want to have any babies. You're just embrace. She's like, hell no. Okay, great. But you do happen to have 2 stepkids. But he always wanted me to. Aw. Well, maybe he's talking about those stepkids, he knows you love them like yours, and he also takes them in like his too, and so he can be around them as a guardian angel too. If that he says you're gonna have 2 kids, you said hell no, I ain't having my own, but I do have 2 stepkids. He knows of them, and you take them on as if they're your own, which is awesome, and he knows of them. So, like mother, like father, I see, right? Love it. Love, 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 love. Cool beans.